Kriti, to report what happened to you or not to report, it's a decision, right? We have to decide. We can decide this way or decide that way. But when we have to decide about something, it's not about saying, yes, I'll do it, or no, I won't do it. There has to be some reason for a decision, right? Let me give you an example. Suppose you want to have a birthday party. It's your birthday, you're thinking you'll have a party, right? And you're trying to decide with your mommy and daddy, what kind of party should I have on my birthday? Where should I have it? And you say, should I have it at home? Should I have it at McDonald's? Should I have it in the park? Right? So you have three choices. Exactly, right? Now, if you were going to have it at home, what would be some of the good things about having it at home? Why would it be nice to have it at home?
Because then my friends can spend longer time, and then we can have more fun. We can play with my toys.
Okay.
And then all of us can even stay at home together.
Okay. If what would be the disadvantage of staying at home and having the party? What would be the not so great things?
Then it will be the same place and the usual thing, and we'll not be able to go to McDonald's.
Right. And then maybe you have to clean up everything yourself, you and mommy and daddy, right? Okay. If you went to the park and had the party, what would be the good things?
There will be a lot of swings. We can play around, jump, run. It will be so much fun.
So there'd be more place than at home.
And we can take our dogs and cats.
Okay. What would be the not so good thing about having the party in the park?
There can be too many mosquitoes.
Okay.
And we cannot carry a lot of food.
Yeah, it may be really tough, right? Where would you put the cake? And it's hard to carry a table and set up all the party food. So just like that, if we were to report to the police about what your uncle did to you, there would be some good things and some difficult things maybe. If we don't tell the police, right, which is our other way to decide, there may be some things that you think are helpful, but other things that may not be very helpful or good in the long run, right? So just like we thought about the birthday party, let's think a little. What would be the good things that could happen if we reported to the police about your uncle?
Then he will not be able to hurt me anymore, and he will have to stop.
Yes, very true. And that would be a great thing, right? So that he wouldn't do these uncomfortable and hurtful things to you.
And I feel really bad that my parents are always nice to him. If I tell them and tell the police, then he will be punished and everybody will get to know that he's not a nice person. And I always feel scared that he must be doing this to other children also. So if I tell them, then I think he will not be able to do it with anybody.
You are so right. Everybody would know that he's not a good person and he wouldn't be able to hurt anyone else like you, like he did with you, right? Okay. What would be the difficult things that could happen if we report to the police?
I just feel scared that my parents may not believe me and then they will punish me for telling you about it. They will just be angry that I told you, and then that I'm saying all these things about my uncle. And what if we go to the police and they don't believe me because I'm just a kid, and they will think that my uncle that I'm just making up a story and I'm not lying to them, and they put me in jail for lying.
Okay, so some of these things that you even said the last time, things that you're worried and scared about, right? But remember, what I told you, that I would help you to explain to the police, I would help you to explain to your parents, and that I would be there through all these times so that people understand that you didn't do anything wrong, that these things happen to many children, right? So I would be there, we would be there to help you with this, right?
Do you think it happens to many children?
It does. We know it happens to many children. And you know, some of them are really little children, tiny children. They may be 2 years old, 3 years old. Some of them are about your age, like they may be 8, 9, 10 years old. Some of them are even older, like they may be 14, 15, 16 years old. So it happens to boys and to girls. It happens to children of all ages. And that's what I would be explaining, you know, to your parents, to say these things happen. And sometimes we think that some of our family members are good people, that they're nice people, but we don't know, you know, what they're doing to some of the children in our homes, right? Because they keep it. Yeah. Also remember, because people who do these bad things, they keep it secret, right? And they tell other people, particularly children, to keep it secret. So your parents don't know. And we can help them to know and then to understand, right? Okay, let's look at, suppose we don't report to the police, right? What would be some of the advantages, if there are any, some of the good things that could be if we don't report to the police?
Then nobody will know that these bad and dirty things have happened to me, and they will not, I will not be embarrassed, and I will not have to be scared of everybody. I think they will look at me differently if they find out.
Okay, so if we don't tell the police, then nobody would know, as you say, and you wouldn't be embarrassed. But, like you also said, then these bad and dirty things that uncle is doing would continue, right? He would go on doing them. Okay. What are some of the difficult things or the bad things that could happen if we don't report?
My uncle will continue to hurt me, and maybe he will hurt me more if I don't tell other people. And what if he starts doing it with other people in the family, other children?
That's a scary thought, right? All of what you said is difficult and scary, right?
Yeah.
So, I think you're right on all these counts. So, it's a bit like a seesaw, you know. On the one hand, you have some fears and some worries, you know, about why you, and therefore you don't want to tell, or you don't want to tell the police or your parents. On the other hand, you also know that it could be difficult if you don't tell, that you could continue to get hurt, right? Uncle could continue to hurt you, hurt other children. Nobody would then know that he was a bad person. And then that means he can just keep on doing these things, isn't it? So, now that we know the good things that could happen when we report, some of the difficult things that could happen if we, report or don't report, we can think a little more, right, about how to decide on this. And of course, we don't have to do it now, like today, this minute. We've talked about many things today, so maybe you can think a little about it. Maybe if you have some more questions next time, some more worries you hadn't thought of, or some more good things that could happen if you report that you think of, we could talk a little more about it, so that whatever we decide will be really solid and strong, and you will be comfortable and happy saying, I've decided, I know what I want to do, and I know why I have decided this way. Okay?